We're live. We are live. Are we live? Are we now live on YouTube? Can't see us. And it is not went live. Has it went live at all? No, it's not went live. Where on earth are we then? Where are we this evening? It is saying that we are live on YouTube. And no dilemma. No dilemma. The click through rate. Rodgers, stop streaming. This is a disaster. This is why we are live. It's saying that we're live. Okay, it is saying that we're live. Say that. It's saying that we're live. Let's just go on here and click on this link to see if, yes, we are live. Let's wait. Go here. Oh my goodness. Right, there's 25 scheduled. Come off this one. And we are live. Just there's three people watching. You can tell that we're using new software this evening. So hopefully everyone's just about to jump over from the evening. So we do play the game tomorrow. I can hear myself. Hi guys. Um, good evening and welcome back to the channel. Yes, there I am. I'm here. That was fun and games. And is it as good as say there you are? Yeah. Hopefully there's more people. I'm going to just go in and do something with that other one so that it can't be found. My God, it's set up about half a dozen streams. Give me 2 seconds till I just do this and then this one. They need to hide them. No, I'll just do that. Unlist, save that. Just give me 2 seconds, and then this one needs unlist that one as well. That was fun in games. It's always good when you use new software and you get it to work first time after trying it for half a dozen times before. Let me see here. It's not giving me the current viewers are 10. Anyway, what about the game tomorrow? Let's jump up onto this screen. How is the sound? How is the sound? Make sure that the sound is okay. I'm not quite happy with the video quality for that, but there we are. It said it is working. What's your teams? Unfortunately, tonight I'm not going to be able to get your comments up. Is that the right one? Everything's just going wrong tonight. There we go, peekaboo. Green machine is on, loud and clear. Hail, hail, perfect. Loud and clear. I am using OBS tonight. My throat is a bit fine, 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 fine. Sounds perfect. Right, turn the sound up. It sounds perfect. Turn your volume up, Kevin. Turn your volume up. It's your sound. Turn it up. Anyway, right, here is my team. I wrote my team down for tomorrow rather than doing it on this new software. Right, I'm going to go straight in for it. It's unfortunate that Cameron Carter Vickers is going to be out for, well, he's out for the next 2 games. He is out for the next 2 games. It was a worry that Cameron Carter Vickers would be out. I thought it was devastating that he went off with his tightened hamstring. I think it's something that needs to be looked at, and we need him back for the rest of the season. So it's good that he's not going to be playing tomorrow. But that brings in Stephen Welsh. What do you think for Stephen Welsh getting a game for tomorrow? I've picked my team. I wrote my team down, and I'm going to go with it. It's Hart. It's a bit low. Well, it's coming through sound on this. It's fine. I've just listened to it on YouTube, and it's fine here. Anyway, Kevin, it must be in your end because I've just listened to it live on YouTube, so it's fine. Anyway, you do sound a bit low, Baz. It does sound a bit low. Anyway, just turn up your sound. Hello, fellow Fenians, this evening. No, it's not. Ah, it is. It's fine. Turn your volume up. Go into your YouTube and turn your volume up on YouTube because they're outside the door. Anyway, the team tomorrow: Hart, Taylor, Welsh, Scales, Alistair Johnston, Calmac, Paulo, uh, Matt O'Reilly, Palma, Kyogo, and Dyson Maida. That's the team. That's the team that I've wrote down. Um, I think it's probably the best team we put out. I think that you're going to get Rio Hatate coming on in the second half, and also Leila Bada. I think both of them will make the bench tomorrow. Tell me your team in the comment section. Are you confident about tomorrow? Tell me that. I'm not. It's one of those things. I get really nervous the night before these games, and usually the morning. And if I don't get a right sick feeling in my stomach, we usually lose. And thankfully, I've had that feeling tonight. So hopefully, we'll get the win tomorrow. I watched the interview with Callum McGregor, and it was interesting that Callum was asked. He's been through these many times before, and how does he feel with? Obviously, he's played when there's been the 7,500 fans at both stadiums. How does he feel with the no fans situation? And I like the way that the media are trying to turn it around, that it's Celtic's fault that there's no away fans. And then Callum obviously batted it back, saying, look, it's the powers that be, it's other people. We just get on with it. We're professional football players. We went there and we won with no fans. Hopefully, we can do the same again with our own fans, and the fans will make some noise tomorrow. Because let's face it, it's them that we're playing, and if we can't get the stadium absolutely rocking, and Karl Marx said it as well. He said, "Look, he said we've got to do their stuff on the pitch that will get the fans excited, and then once we do that, the first when we do that." It'll get the stadium absolutely buzzing. I think we need to get a goal early on. Callum McGregor also said, he said, look, it's going to be an interesting game because and even Brendan Rodgers said it, he said, look, you're not going to have the team, it's going to be a football game. It's going to be a football game tomorrow where the two teams are going to have a good go at each other. So we've been here before. We've been here before. They've came over the past many years. I feel like that guy in Police Academy. Carter Vickers is out. James Dillon, we know that. Cameron Carter Vickers is out. No CCV. Welsh will come straight into that team. It says a lot for, the team picks itself, Chilpil. It is what it is. I mean, I did write it down. Hart, Alistair Johnson, Welsh, Scales, Taylor, Greg, Alistair Johnson, Calmack, Matt O'Reilly, Paolo Bernardo, Palma, Kyogo, and Maida. It's the best team that we've got just now. If those players turn up and play to their best, we'll win. It's as simple as that. Carter Vickers is out. Yes, James Dillon, we know that. Cameron Carter Vickers is out. So, what do you think the score will be tomorrow? I'm not even going to try and make a prediction. But Brendan Rodgers does have a decision to make over the next couple of games, I would say. Maybe not tomorrow, but when you look at the fact that Leila Bada is coming back, in fact, I'm going to stop there now because there is a bit of a speculation going about yesterday about a striker, another striker from Asia. Is that the type of player that we need? Is it another player? I mean, what is the point in getting another player in from Asia when there's every chance that they're going to be at the Asia Cup? Abada, what's that? Abada, I'm just going to get chill pulse now. Abada, Hatate, Rocky, O, Turnbull, Mikey Johnson, Forrest, Bain, and maybe a Wata on the bench. I think that you're probably right with that. And I think all bar a complete disaster. I'm looking for Hatate to come on in about the 60th minute. Look for Hatate to come on in the 60th minute and Leila Bada as well. I think if Lewis Palmer hasn't scored a goal, tomorrow, or if he's not making the desired impact, I think you'll definitely see Leila Bada come on. Leila Bada, he knows how to win these games. He knows how to beat this lot. He knows what is needed. And that's what we need in this game. It's not about inexperience. And when you see the team, it is the strongest team that we can play. Chilpo says no more Asians. I'm pretty much agree with that, and nothing about it's it's we need European-based players in. Let's face it, we need European-based players. The fact that it was all over Twitter last night with Celtic are interested in Iwashi Rasol, striker, Mahu Hoysoi. No thanks. I think, I mean, if that happens and Brendan Rodgers doesn't get what he wants, I think it's nothing racist. Yeah, it's not. It's just the Asia Cup. We're losing half the team in the Asia Cup. They've not played at the highest level in Europe. Getting them to perform in Europe has been the downfall over the last couple of seasons. I think it'll be 3-1 and they'll get the penalty, says Angelo. I'm going to apologise tonight. I won't be able to put your comments up on the screen because I am using this new software, OBS, and I haven't figured out how to do that yet. It's not like the StreamYard that I was using is so it's completely different. So you're not going to get any of your comments up on the screen tonight, unfortunately. Bastard will not slop seat tonight, knowing how bad that is. Fit Green Machine, do you think so? I think Welsh to score 22-1 tomorrow. There we go. The first crazy one of the evening goes to Chilpel. He says it's going to be 22-1. I think if it was 7-1 or 6-1, would do us just fine. I think we're due someone a good beating. And what if only we get 22 shots tomorrow and we get 12 of them on target and we score 6 of them. That would be a good game. That would be a good game. We need to start putting away our shots on target. That is for sure. Let me just see. This a second. And this. And this. Just 2 seconds for that. I'm just trying to find that. Right, save that, and that should be done for the live. What I've just noticed actually is I need to just make sure that it's for subscribers only. There we go, subscribers only. Before the Sevconians start coming on and trying to talk absolute rubbish. Baz Welsh odds are 22. Welsh's odds are 22-1. Jesus. Are they? I haven't even looked at any odds. Just go for 22-1. Just go for it. If we can get 28 shots at goal, 22-1's bound to come at some point. That would be absolutely hilarious if we scored more than 4 against that lot. Anyway, big players for us tomorrow. For me, one has to be Callum McGregor. Callum McGregor has to boss that midfield. Has to boss that midfield all day long. But Paulo Bernardo, for me, has to have that little spark. He has to get into the box a bit more. He's been doing it the past couple of games. He has been doing it the last couple of games, and him and Matt O'Reilly have kind of been getting in each other's way. If they can find a way to help out Kyogo tomorrow, I think it could be a fun old game. Both of them need to get into the box, right up and give Kyogo a hand, and then we need Maida and Palmer on the wings, getting past them, getting right past them, and getting in some fantastic crosses. I think then, and only then, that we'll get the result required. They will make it as hard as possible. I think they will go quite defensive at the start of the game. They'll try and control that midfield. They'll try and make sure that Callum McGregor doesn't get on the ball. If we play the way we can do, right? If we play the way we can do, we can win the game tomorrow. Thank you, Mary Harper. I can't put that up on the screen because I don't have StreamYard. So big shout out to Mary Harper. Can you put that on the screen? No. Thank you to Mary Harper for the £5. Super chat. Anyway, right. Let's get to some more of the comments. Hazel says, after Mikey Johnson scoring twice in the last game, do you think Brendan Rodgers might start him? It's not for me, but he might come off the bench. I think Chilpel, they have hit us on the break since the day of dawn. Rangers have always tried to hit us on the break. They're trying to soak it up in midfield as much as they can and then try and hit us on the break. It's nothing new. Celtic know. Callum McGregor was asked, do you think that they've improved any as a team since the new manager has come in? And Callum McGregor said, no, not really. He said they're still playing the same type of way. They're still playing formation-wise the same. He said they've had a bit of a boost, as they always get, when a new manager comes in. And let's face it, they've had a few managers over the last couple of years, um, over the last 6 or 7 years, that's came in and tried to change things up. They always get, they always get a little boost. And do you know they'll get another boost with this manager, and how long he'll last is who knows. But even Callum McGregor says, look, they've not changed the way they play. It's still the same players that were there at the beginning of the season. And, all they've done is get a little bit of a boost that all clubs get when they always get a little boost. Every team gets a little boost when a new manager comes in. Who's trying to phone me? Are you having a laugh? This is just not. Anyway, just it's getting dinged. Whoever it is, I can't answer it because I am live. So whoever it is, hang up now. Anyway, that was a Spanish number. Anyway, that didn't work well. Anyway, Chubble says Stephen a Boyer is a Boyer. It's always the same. I think it's going to be a close game tomorrow. For me, Lewis Palmer to score tomorrow. I'm going to put it on there. I'm going to write it down actually. Palmer to score. Palmer to score one. And I think it'll come as an absolute screamer. I think Palmer's due a goal. Palmer's due an absolute cracker of a goal. He's been taking shots from outside the box. It's either going to be, I think the two goal scorers could be Palmer and Matt O'Reilly. Maybe even one for Kyogo. We'll go for 3-0. I'm going to go for 3-1 or 3-0. I'm going to go for 3-1 or 3-0. It must be on your end, Yerma, because I'm listening to it live on YouTube and it's fine. So it must be at your end if you click on YouTube and then just turn your volume up on YouTube. So, who do you think will score tomorrow? I'm going to go with Lewis Palmer, Kyogo, and Matt O'Reilly. I'm going to go, I think we'll score three. I think we will score three. And they'll get the one. O'Reilly, Abada, Palmer all need to shine tomorrow. I think they will do. Loud and clear here. Yeah, it's just folk on the wind up. When we look at some other Celtic headlines that are cutting about, Chris Sutton says that Celtic need a major rally against the South Koreans. The expected 11, Cameron Carter's Vickers is obviously not playing. Brendan Rodgers says he can't rely on just one player. He said that in the interview today. Brendan Rodgers said he also spoke about Stephen Welsh. He spoke about Stephen Welsh and he said, look, Stephen Welsh was a fantastic player for me the first time here. I brought him in as a youth player and he's maybe never got the games that he would have expected over the last couple of seasons. A little slide dig at Ange Postecoglou there. But he did say, due to the form of Cameron Carter Vickers and due to the form of Carol Starfelt, that's the main reason that Stephen Welsh didn't get as many games for Celtic over the last couple of seasons. Kyogo and Welsh to score tomorrow, says Chilpill. Don't care as long as we win. Can he stand losing to the Zombies? Palmer penalty. Peter Murphy says Palmer penalty. I think Palmer's going to score from outside the box. He's due one outside the box. He's been due one. He's had a couple of shots that have went just wide. He's got to get one of these shots. He's got to get one of them. And I think tomorrow might be the day. And I'd like to hope that Palmer's going to be a big game player. I think when you look at it, you've got a chance. And the manager was asked this today. He said, this is the kind of game where players can go on and have a legacy at Celtic. Can go on and have a legacy. I've not heard about Abada as a definite squad. Yes, Peter Murphy Abada is a definite for the squad tomorrow, said Brendan Rodgers in the interview read today. When you look at it, I'm still going for Palmer, Matt O'Reilly, and Kyogo to score tomorrow. I think Kyogo will score one from inside the box. Matt O'Reilly will score a cracker, and Palmer taking Palmer to score. Also, do you think that Brendan loves a store called Asda? John, Michael, who knows? Who knows? Anyway, when you look at it, what do you think the score will be tomorrow? I'm going for 3-1. I think we're due a fantastic result against them. I think we're going to make a game where we're going to show our class and show our dominance and show the fact that we've been there and done it over the last couple of seasons. They think that they got a bit of a boost under the last man. Well, it wasn't even the last man, it was under Beale. When they played us towards the end of the last season and they got that win, they thought, yeah, that's it. We're going to walk the league this year. Well, they haven't walked the league. We have dropped some silly points. I did say at the start of December we would drop points. I never expected to lose 2 games back to back in the league for the first time in 10 years. I think moving forward, Brendan Rodgers knows he must win this game. Brendan Rodgers knows he must win the game on the 2nd. And if we do that, we'll still be top of the league. Even if we lose tomorrow and we win the next game, we'll still be top of the league. The Rangers always bottle it, says Stephen. Fuck Brendan, Lager, Rocky, Welsh in the midfield. I hope it's 3-0 tomorrow, but can't see it, says James Smith. Right, let's get some more Celtic news, see what's kicking about this evening. A lot of people giving a lot of folk talking about who they might play tomorrow. Who's this? Sold by Celtic. Is that any good? Albion Ajeti could leave his Turkish club already. Now there's a surprise. Did we sell Albion Ajeti or did we let him go for next to nothing? But the Swiss club that he went to, anyway, who cares about that? It's just a bit of news that's kicking around. It was interesting to see that Brendan Rodgers spoke about the Hearts player in the interview today. Spoke about the fact that he was a good player and he took his goal well. Is that a little hint to the fact that Celtic might put a little cheeky bid in for him? Marty Boy says, I told you, Barry, months ago that we are wash. You are delusional, says Marty Boy. Marty Boy, we're top of the league. We're top of the league. And if you look at the injuries, right, Marty Boy, come back to me and say, right, with the injuries that we've had over the course of this season, remember we had our complete defence out at the start of the season. We basically lost about 6 players that played the season previous under Ange Postecoglou. And you think that these new players that were coming were going to go and be at the same level. I think when you look at it, the fact that we lost Jota, the fact we lost Aaron Moy, and the fact we lost Carl Starfelt, there's 3 players straight away. And to say that we're rubbish this season, we then lost Carter Vickers, we then lost Leila Bada, we then lost Hatate. That's 6 players, 6 first team players, 6 first team players. So, who do you think was going to come in and be better than those players? Who do you think, Marty Boy? I don't think you even know. And I think that take your tinted glasses off. Rangers will win. Oh, Marty Boy, honestly, I'm going to have to put you on a timeout due to the negativity. You're going on a 10-minute timeout due to your negativity. Negativity. We don't need negativity tonight. Marty Boy, are you a zombie? Yep, I've just given him a 10-minute timeout. That's the good thing about this is when I'm on this side, I can do the timeout thing. Anyway, it's Friday night. Zombie fake account. Yep. What other Celtic news is kicking around tonight? Everybody's talking about Chris Sutton. Chris Sutton is saying that having put faith in Welsh, he's got a bit of a dilemma when it comes to who's going to play on the wing. Is he going to bring Leila Bada right in from the start? I don't think so. Leila Bada won't start the game tomorrow. If he does, it's a big, big shout. And it was interesting that Brendan Rodgers said, he said, look, Leila Bada knows how to score goals. He said that although Leila Bada, it's all right, I've put Marty Boy on a timeout. I'll block him later on when he comes back if he's still there. Because he's no at him. That's for certainty. Getting back to Brendan Rodgers said, he said, look, when Leila Bada plays, he knows how to score goals. Although he's a winger, he's a goal scorer, said Brendan Rodgers. And that was what was interesting for me. He said he knows that he's a goal scorer. Do you think that Brendan Rodgers will start Leila Bada tomorrow? That's interesting. Look what I could do with this. Look, and then change it back to that. Um, do you think that he'll start with Lila Abada? Personally, I don't think that. I don't think that he'll start Abada. I think he'll bring Abada off the bench. I'd start Abada, says Liam. Liam, I totally respect your comments because you're always pretty much on the spot. Um, start Abada, no. I wouldn't, personally, I wouldn't start him. Personally, I wouldn't start him just because he's been out for such a length of time. I think bringing him on as a substitute, bringing him on in about the 60th minute, I don't think he'll start. But anyway, the last half an hour, I think, yes, definitely. Can't start Abada. A good stuff to bring on, though, says Chilpill. Um, Mo says Abada and Welsh. Abada and Welsh to score tomorrow. There you go. I think he'll play Welsh, but uh, if he does, he'll play three centre backs. Do you think that we'll go for a back? Do you think tomorrow is the game that we play 3-5-2? I don't think so. I don't think he'll change it. The Jetty was sold for 500 grand, and he's almost getting released from his new club. Abada and Hatate, Martin says, on for the last half an hour. I think you're pretty much spot on with that one. I think that bringing him on any earlier would be. He's not had game time. They've not had game time. You've got to remember they've had a week off due to the snow in Ross County not being able to get down. Does that really matter having them that week off? Does that really matter? Or is it more important that Celtic go back to winning ways in that game? We've had a couple of games that we've won back to back. We've got back on goal scoring form. We're creating chances now. I think at home, we really need to be scoring a lot of those chances that we do create. If we go on to create any of the amount of chances, even half the amount of shots on goal, if we can create half the amount of shots on goal that we've had the last two games, we're going to have at least 10 shots on goal. If we can have 10 shots on goal, surely we can get two or three of them. And I mean, it's about time that we start scoring from outside the box a bit more. And a corner also. Welsh is wash, says James. He might be, but he's the best player that the manager thinks that we have. What does that say about Rocky? What does that say about Gustav Lagerbielke? You never know. One of them might come in. I mean, Gustav played well at the start of the season with Liam Scales. Liam Scales has played fantastic since then. But I think he'll go with Welsh just for the experience that he has in this game. Got to remember, Brendan knows how to work these games. 1888 CFC says, I'm not confident, and that's Celtic's fault. Miles says he wants to see Kyogo score a couple tomorrow. I think Kyogo will score tomorrow. I think Palmer score. And I think Matt O'Reilly will score also. And they'll all be from outside the box. I don't think they will score from a corner in this game. I do think that they will probably get a penalty as normal. But it is what it is with them. We just let them get on with it. Let's get to, there's 137 consecutive concurrent viewers, this is saying, so I'm just checking out this new software, still working up. Welsh wouldn't eat dressers for dessert. Do you think Welsh would eat dressers for dessert? Says, they're more consistent than us, says 88 CFC. Are they more consistent than us, or is it the fact that they've just had that boost for the new manager coming in? The teams always do that. Let's not even talk about them. If we play to our best, Calmac controls that midfield. If they try and man mark Callum McGregor, they're not going to play their own game. So this is why I'm thinking that Callum McGregor will get the space in the midfield tomorrow to do his own thing and to make sure that we dominate the game. He'll be able to sit back and control the game. You've got Paulo Bernardo and Matt O'Reilly that are going to swap sides up front and going to make it difficult for Rangers to actually figure out what's actually going on with those two. I've noticed them doing it a couple of times in the games. You'll see them, they'll actually swap positions from the left to right. And then you've obviously got Maida and Palma. They need to get Palma. It's a big game for Palma. Palma needs to get back to getting past players and getting good crosses in, which means we need Kyogo right on the back of their defence, pushing up. Um, Stephen Welsh can't defend. He's been at Celtic for 5, 6 years in the first team. He still can't get a run. James, I will agree with you that, but Brendan Rodgers spoke about it, and he says Brendan Rodgers brought him in his first time round, and he said he's been unlucky over the last couple of seasons. He said when you look at how good Carl Starfelt was and how good Cameron Carter Vickers was, he says that's the whole reason that he's not getting into the team on an ongoing basis. And I think that tomorrow we're at home, we've got the fans behind us, right? We've got a lot of positivity going on. We're top of the league. You know, they've had a couple of good results. We even Callum McGregor said it. Callum McGregor said, he said, look, after the break, there's still a lot of football to go on. There's a lot of football to go on. And we historically always go on a good run the second half of the season. We always go on a good run the second half of the season. We always go into the break and then we come out the break the other side and that's it. It's like something clicks at Celtic and we go on a good run. I think that that will still happen, no matter what the result is tomorrow. I think the result is paramount that we win. I think it's paramount that we put on a fantastic performance. The players for me that are going to stand out tomorrow, Paulo Bernardo, Matt O'Reilly and Callum McGregor. If those three players do their thing, I mean, Maida is going to run up and down the wing all day long. Palmer, Palmer needs to do his thing on the wing also. He needs to he needs to hog that touchline and not come in as much. Guys in Maida, he'll do that. He'll stick to the touchline and he'll run up and down it. Palmer needs to stop coming in a little bit, just for me. And then that allows Paulo and Matt O'Reilly to run riot just in front of their defence. So that's my team. I think I'm going to go for 3-1 tomorrow. I think it'll be a fantastic day. And I think it's going to be one of those games for the fans that are there are going to go, do you remember that game? What a game that was. And the stadium will be absolutely a wall of noise. And they'll go skulking off the pitch at full time with their heads in their hands. And the new manager is going to go, well, I think we've been lucky the last couple of games, perfectly honest. Because let's face it, they beat Aberdeen in the cup final near enough injury time. They've been scoring late on, right? I don't fear them. I don't fear them at all. I don't think anyone should fear them at Celtic. I don't think anyone at Celtic will fear them. And that's the main thing about tomorrow is that our players have got the confidence. They have that confidence in there. They have that belief. I mean, Alistair Johnson, full of belief. Greg Taylor, whether you like Greg Taylor or not, Greg Taylor is just, he knows how to play these games. He knows how to get in the face of the Rangers players. He knows how to win against them. And that's going to be important for us. Scales, he done it at the beginning of the season. Welsh, he's been there over the years. He knows what it means to win. He's a Celtic lad as well. You need to remember that. He is one of us. And it all comes down to whether Kyogo can get the service from Palma and Maida. When it comes to the bench, well, you're going to have the good old usual and goalkeeper on the bench, Bain. You're also going to have Rio Hatate. You're going to have Turnbull. You're going to have Leila Bada. Which one of those ones will get on? I do think that Leila Bada will definitely get on tomorrow afternoon. And then Rio Hatate might get on if Paulo Bernardo doesn't step up to the mark. If Paulo Bernardo hasn't put in his dominance tomorrow, I think that you'll see Paulo Bernardo will be the first one to get pulled off and Rio Hatate come on just to give us that oomph in midfield. So let's get back to some of the messages on YouTube. James Smith says, Baz, that's not unlucky. That's just not good enough. You need to force your way in. Yeah, you need to force your way in, but when you've got two outstanding players in front of them, when you've got players that were undroppable, and whether you like it or not, Carl Starfelt came into that bracket. Carl Starfelt got a lot of stick at Celtic, but when you look at the stats when him and Cameron Carter Vickers played together, we dropped very little points and we never got beat. We never got beat when the two of them played together. So I understand what you're saying, but if we turn up, we will win. It's as simple as that. If we turn up, we will win, and that is just a simple matter of fact, especially at Celtic Park. Celtic mean business. Journalist shares how 10 million transfer kitty in January for Celtic. That's getting spoken about quite a lot the last 24 hours, that Celtic have got this 10 million kitty. Is it right that we're going to go for some player from, I don't know, where is this guy even from? Let's do hopefully we're not going to bring in another Asian striker. And if we do, why is he not playing in the Asia Cup for his country? That would be my only thinking behind it. Why is he not playing in the Asia Cup? Nobody knows who Celtic are actually targeting. You can read into the press. There's nothing solid coming out of Celtic at all about who we're trying to target. Anyway, San Fran Celtic, how are you doing this evening? Martin Boy, hopefully tomorrow we won't need to risk Abada or Hatati. I think if we go 2-0 up, 3-0 up, Brendan Rodgers will still bring them on. Brendan Rodgers will bring them on to give them some game time. If we go 2-0 up within the 70th minute, 70th, 80th minute, it's the perfect time. It is the perfect time to bring on Leo Labada and Rio Hatate, just to settle the team down and to show how strong a squad we actually have. So yeah, hopefully we won't need to see them, but I think we will. I think we'll, even if we're winning. AJ SC says it needs to be more than 10 million as far as he's concerned. When you look at it, we spent, what was it, about 12 million or something in the summer. No, we made 11 million profit, right? But we sold Jota for 25 million. I think we need looks like another South Korea player coming in. Yeah, another South Korea player, a striker. Why is he not at the Asia Cup? If he's that good a striker, why is he not at the Asia Cup? That would be my only concern. And it's all fine bringing these players in if we're going to sell them on for good money. But I honestly can't see any of the players that are coming from Asia being sold for money likes of Jota. Even the 10 to 15 million bracket. I don't think that any of them are 10 to 15 million pound players. Rio Hatate is. Rio Hatate. Um, Rio Hatate is a player that can go for 20 million if he gets back to the type of form that he's had in the past couple of seasons. I definitely think he's a player. But other than that, I mean, Kyogo's never going to go for 20 million unless, everyone's saying that he's only really a 15 million pound player. We're not going to even talk about selling him because we're going to keep all our best players. When it comes to the transfer window, it is only just over a week. When is the transfer window open? Just a couple of days' time. So we'll see what January brings. Our record January loans isn't great, so it's more like 15 million to fix. Um, I think that Brendan Rodgers doesn't want loans in because we want players that are going to be here next season. There's no use. Could you imagine us going and spending 37 grand a week on a player that when he played against us in the summer, now you've got to remember the Wolves player that they've played against us in the summer, and I went back and I watched the Wolves coverage of that game, and he was absolutely rubbish. It was rubbish. His pace isn't that great for somebody that's 30 is meant to be worth 30 odd million. He's not got the pace. He's not got the pace. He might have the pace in Scotland, but anyway. And Big Dom says the Rangers map being postponed in midweek might disrupt their momentum and work out to our advantage. I think so as well. Palmo Myra needs alternate sides, the way that Jota and Myra did. Yes, definitely. That used to work fantastic for Celtic, especially when Ange Postecoglou done that. It would get to about 30 minutes into the game, and if things weren't going Celtic's way, you would see him, he would switch sides. Jota would switch to one side, Myra would switch to the other. And then they would swap back again. Would Brendan Rodgers do that? Brendan Rodgers has to be a bit more tactical awareness, and I think he will pull out all stops tomorrow. Signing players from the Far East has had far more misses than hits for us, only because Ange, we've got Kyogo and Maida and Hatate. The rest have not been great, and they were all brought in under Ange Postecoglou. So, although some of them were signed off this season by Brendan Rodgers, Yang. I mean, I still don't see how Yang can be a better player than Paulo Bernardo. Not long term, anyway. Right, Joseph says, hello, Baz. Why is there Scottish or any national players not going to the Cup. Can't believe still playing for James. Not going to our cup competition. You mean why is our Scottish players not playing in the Scottish Cup? Celt67 says he's scared for tomorrow. Get a grip, man. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. If the game is close near the end, we should be shouting for Golson in the box. Yeah. Right, a lot of people aren't convinced for the game tomorrow. I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be perfectly fine the game tomorrow. I says, let me just check this. Celtic mean business. 10 million, 10 million, 10 million. Quite a few people are going on with this 10 million kitty. Like, I'm going to say, right, during the summer, the speculation was that we had a 30 million war chest. And that's why Brendan Rodgers was brought back because we had 30 million to spend. I think Celtic will go out and spend money on players, but if they're going to spend 10 million, they're going to buy three players at that 10 million. They're definitely going to buy three players. Is that going to be what we want? Is it going to be the quality that we need, the experience? I'm not going to say quality. I'm going to say experience. And that's what it comes down to. I think bringing a striker in from South Korea that isn't playing at the Asia Cup, for me, why is he not playing? Why is he not near the national team? We should be bringing players in that are near or in around the national team because then they've got that experience of playing people from other leagues and other countries. Biscuit tin mentality will never go away, says Stephen. Says Stephen. Right, where is the recording for this? Just to check. Been on the go for 41 minutes this evening. Oh, there it's down there. And kilobytes, everyone's fine with that. There's no dropped frames. This is quite interesting. This CPU's for brilliant. Right, let's check out some more Celtic news this evening. And I've got to say a big shout out to Celtic Share, actually. CelticShare.com. They have started reposting and posting our videos and when they go live. So if you are on Twitter, let me just go into. I can't share screen or anything. So if you are on Twitter, you will start seeing that Celtic News Now. Celtic News Now has started posting our videos and when the lives will come on. So if you're on Twitter, make sure that you check out Celtic News Now, as they will tell you when we're going live if you don't see it on this channel, which is fantastic. It's good. Baz, tell you what will happen. James Smith, tell me what will happen. Where are you watching the tomorrow, Baz? I'm watching it in the pub closest to my home, so that I could just stop along the road. So that's all. I was going to go down to. Yeah, no, I'm watching it in a pub that nobody will know really. So it's all good. But it is a Celtic bar. It is a Celtic bar. Celtic blocked me on Twitter. Celtic blocks you on Twitter. Stephen. Oh, jeez. Why did Celtic block you on Twitter? Big Dom, don't buy three quality players for 10 million, Baz. You don't buy three quality players for 10 million. It depends on the market that you're looking at. You couldn't get McCarthy for 10 million, even Desmond's private yacht. McCarthy, James McCarthy, we got him for nothing. He was absolutely rubbish. Right, I'm going to see what other Celtic news is kicking around. There's not a lot kicking around this evening. Does it say, does anybody talk about, is there anybody got, there's nothing that I'm seeing that is a bit of solid information about the type of player that we're going to get. I mean, maybe if we're going to go and get the Hearts player, right, you're going to get him for 3 or 4 million. Is that going to be good spend? Suggesting that Celtic have between 6 and 10 million to spend in January. Transfer sources. Celtic are still looking to sign a striker, a central midfield player, and a left winger. Central midfield player that can play in the holding position that Callum McGregor plays. It's believed that Brendan Rodgers may have to sell players in January in order to boost the transfer kitty. Celtic could also be exploring loan deals. I don't think so. I don't think so. And this is why it's talking nonsense. This is saying this is in light of a reduced budget because of Champions League. What a load of nonsense. What an absolute load of Honestly, see some publications out there, they just put anything out. And I had an interesting conversation with that on Twitter last night. Something today says Brendan isn't getting the backing. Andrew's going to get 10 million as pocket change to risk the Champions League money. To risk the Champions League money. Do you think that the biscuit tin mentality is let's get over. So who would you start? John, I had my starting lineup earlier. I've got it written down here. My starting lineup for tomorrow is Joe Hart and goals, Alistair Johnston, Stephen Welsh, Scales, and Greg Taylor. Callum McGregor, Paolo, and Matt O'Reilly. Palmer, Kyogo, and Maida. That is who was on my list that I wrote down on a bit of paper this evening. Wrote it down on a good old bit of paper. And when you look at it, who's that saying we're dreading corners? I'm dreading. Big Dom says he's dreading corners and free kicks against us tomorrow. We never score from them, of course. Let's just see how the game turns out. I'm not overly worried about it. I think that Shanklin is slow as a week in the jail, says Paul Emery. We need to spend more. The board of directors should be persuaded, says CJ. Let's get the game out of the way tomorrow. Let's get the game in the second out of the way, and then we can start criticising the board if they don't do what's right. There's a lot of deadwood that needs put out at Celtic. There's a lot of players that'll get put out on loan. It's understood that Gustav is one of those players that's going to get put out on loan. If you look at I think there's going to be about 4 or 5 players will leave at this window, which will be a bit of a shock to some people. But when you look at it, Turnbull, do we keep Turnbull to the end of the season and let him walk for nothing, or do we sell him at this window? It'll be interesting. Sack the board says sell 67. Right, give me your team in the comments before the win. Give me your scoreline in the comments. Zombies are absolute rubbish. Watched them in Spain, so outplayed and couldn't believe them winning. Yeah, that's. I don't think that. I think Palmer and Barnes will shine tomorrow. Craig, that's what I've said. I put down 3-1, Craig. I think Palmer will score. Palmer's going to score one of these ones from outside the box, the one of the ones that he's been trying to do over the past couple of weeks, and he's just missed out. I think he'll score one of them. I think Matt O'Reilly will score tomorrow also. He might score from inside the box, and Kyogo's going to hit one also. What's the story with Rocky, Big Dom? I've no idea. Rocky's that far out the picture. He's under the same radar as Lagerbielke, which is disappointing because between the two of those players, we spent 7 million. If Brendan Rodgers doesn't seem these guys good enough, if he doesn't deem these guys good enough, someone has to get name checked at Celtic Park. Someone has to get their arse kicked because they're putting these players forward to the manager that's cost us 7 million. Are we really going to put them out on loan? It's unbelievable. Rocky has to be there somewhere. 5-2 for Celtic and Kyogo first goal. 300 to 1. There you go. There's an odds for you. 1888 CFC. I definitely think there will be a clear out at Celtic. I don't think it's going to be as what the class is a clear out. If you look at the size of the squad, it's an inflated squad. We do need to reduce the sizes, and the only reason I'm saying this is we need to reduce the size of the squads because some of these young players that are out on loan this season are going to come back to Celtic next season, and they should be in and around the squad. They should be in and around the squad going forward, not players that we bring in for 2 million and then try and sell on, but it doesn't work out for them. Mark Lawwell, yeah, you're right, Chris. Mark Lawwell was brought in by Ange Postecoglou, remember. He wasn't brought in by his dad, he was brought in by Ange because he had worked with Ange in the past. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that in the next transfer window. Let me get just a little bit more news. James is going for if we are buying asset, it'll be 3-0 tomorrow. 3-0. I'll take that 3-0 all day long. I'll take anyone tomorrow. I'll settle for a draw and limp on into the window. Would we be limping on into the window though? We beat Feyenoord without Cameron Carter-Vickers, and Stephen Welsh played then. Do you know? And we need to just stop giving some of our Scottish players as much stick It's what we do. Do you know, if the manager thinks that there's a player in there, surely he knows a thing about or two about a player. Anyway, if we don't lose, we'll win. It's as simple as that. I'm going to get some more Celtic news. Who will win Celtic Rangers predictions showdown? Nope, it's paper. Heart Rangers challenge and title race makes Celtic feel alive, says Joe Hart. Joe Hart says that the no thanks, and it's on support. Joe Hart discusses the Scottish Premiership title race ahead of the Rangers game and his own forum this season. That'll be an interesting one if I can get it to play. And not unsupported location. I need my VPN switched on for that. Right, what time is it? Because before my throat gets done in, I will be doing a live tomorrow before the game. I'm not sure if I'll do it for the pub or if I'll do it here and then nip out to the pub. Thank you. I just need to say a special thank you to, where is it? Top chat, fan fundraising, super stickers. Mary Harper. Mary Harper, big thank you to you. Usually I will try and get these up on the screen, but I can't get on the screen because I'm not using StreamYard. But what I'll do is I'll give it lots of hearts and things like that, get it coming up on the screen, and lots of things like that. Thank you to Mary Harper for the fan funding. Let's go to the live chat. And Rocco Vata should be on the bench with young Frame. Rocco Vata would be nowhere near the bench because, let's face it, he's not good enough. Frame, on the other hand, young Frame, that's a player that I want to see in the squad the second half of the season. It's only Brendan Rodgers signing Rocky out of the 9 summon ones, Baz. Yeah, Rocky is that only one, but where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is that man? Anyway, hail, hail, enjoy the game tomorrow. I will be doing a live before the game. Let's figure out how to switch this software off. Hope you enjoyed the live this evening. Thank you to everyone that's been watching the video from all around the world. And on that note, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans all around the world.